What happens when gods from two completely different worlds, two entirely different mythologies, actually collide? Lightning against ancient wisdom, the king of Olympus against the Allfather of Asgard, Zeus versus Odin. Who wins when thunder meets magic? Now, you're probably thinking, this sounds impossible, but let me paint you a picture. What if the gods of Greece and the gods of Norse weren't just stories from different cultures, but rulers of parallel realms that exist side by side? And one day, those worlds crack open and create a doorway between them. Picture this moment. On one side stands Zeus, the thunderer, the sky father, the cosmic ruler with lightning dancing between his fingers and a throne built on raw divine power. On the other side approaches Odin, the one-eyed wanderer, the god who sacrificed everything for wisdom, who speaks in riddles and plans in centuries, with ravens perched on his shoulders carrying secrets from across the 9 realms. Two kings, two entirely different approaches to godhood, and only room for one at the top of all mythology. But how would they even meet? Well, let's say reality itself begins to fracture. Maybe Loki, eternally bored with his usual chaos, discovers an ancient spell that tears holes between worlds. Maybe Prometheus, still chained to his rock, stumbles across some cosmic key during his eternal torment. Or perhaps the fates themselves, the 3 Norms and the 3 Moira, decide it's finally time to test whose story truly reigns supreme. Suddenly, a bridge materializes between Olympus and Asgard. Not just any bridge, a battlefield suspended between realities, where time bends and myth becomes tangible, breathing reality. Can you visualize this cosmic arena? The sky above splits perfectly in half. On one side, storm clouds crackle with Zeus's electrical fury. On the other, swirling mists carry Odin's ancient magic. Below them, armies gather like living legends, stepping off ancient scrolls. From Olympus marches Apollo, radiating solar fire. Ares charges forward, drunk on bloodlust. Athena advances with cold, tactical precision, her owl eyes calculating every possible outcome. From Asgard comes Thor, Mjolnir humming with thunder, lightning coursing through his veins like liquid power. Tyr strides forward, the one-handed god of war and sacrifice. Freyja rides her chariot pulled by battle cats, her eyes burning with the fire of 1,000 wars. But this confrontation isn't about their armies. This is about the collision of two fundamentally different philosophies of divine power. Zeus steps forward, his robes billowing in winds that obey his every thought, lightning bolts dancing between his fingers like living serpents of pure energy. Odin approaches slowly, methodically, his raven black cloak flowing behind him, the spear Gungnir humming with runes carved before time itself had a name. The silence between them stretches like a held breath across both worlds. Then Zeus speaks, his voice echoing like thunder across dimensions. You rule through riddles and shadows, old man. I rule through pure, undeniable power. Let's discover which approach survives longer. Odin's response is barely a whisper, but somehow it carries across the cosmic battlefield. I have already died once, young Stormbringer, and I always find my way back. The first strike isn't seen. It's felt as a shockwave that rattles the very foundations of reality. Zeus hurls a thunderbolt that could shatter mountains, while Odin counters with a whispered incantation of forgotten magic that bends the storm around him like he's conducting a symphony of elements. Here's where this battle becomes absolutely fascinating. Zeus fights like a hurricane, immediate, overwhelming, all-consuming power unleashed without reservation. But Odin fights like the approach of winter, slow, patient, inevitable, creeping forward with the certainty of fate itself. It's not simply strength versus intelligence. It's the philosophy of now versus the strategy of forever. Now you're wondering who actually has the advantage, right? Let's examine their arsenals. Zeus commands lightning, storms, and raw elemental chaos. He's physically stronger, faster, younger, with a kind of divine energy that reshapes reality through pure force of will. But Odin plays an entirely different game. He's witnessed Ragnarok in prophetic visions. He's prepared for the literal end of all things. He understands the future. Maybe he's already seen this exact battle playing out in the threads of fate. And here's Odin's most terrifying advantage: his intimate knowledge of death itself. He's walked through the lands of the dead, hung himself from Yggdrasil for 9 days and nights, learned the deepest secrets of runes and resurrection magic. Zeus has never tasted death, never experienced that ultimate transformation. So when Odin falls, and let's say he does in the first round, who says death means defeat for the Allfather? Picture Zeus unleashing a tempest so massive it scorches the skies of both Olympus and Asgard simultaneously. Odin is thrown backward, apparently broken, seemingly defeated. But then the runes carved into reality itself begin to glow. Time fractures and rewinds like a cosmic videotape, and Odin returns, not just alive, but improved, adapted, carrying new knowledge of exactly how Zeus fights. Round 2 begins, but this time Odin strikes first. Gungnir pierces through the fabric of space itself, a spear that has never missed its target since the moment it was forged. He calls upon the freezing winds of hell, channels the ancient wisdom of Mimir's severed head, summons the battle fury of every warrior who ever died and earned a place in Valhalla. And maybe this time, it's Zeus who stumbles back, surprised by the depth of magic older than his own reign. Because here's the fundamental truth: you cannot outpunch destiny. And Odin isn't just a god, he is fate personified, walking and breathing among the 9 realms. But Zeus isn't merely some muscle-bound divine brute either. Remember, he's the god who successfully overthrew Cronus and the Titans. He outmaneuvered beings older and potentially more powerful than himself. He tricked, bound, and defeated cosmic forces that ruled before him. So maybe Zeus learns and adapts too. Maybe this battle transforms into an eternal cycle. Zeus evolving his tactics, Odin evolving his magic, again and again and again. Like cosmic chess grandmasters locked in a game that spans millennia, with lightning and ravens, storm and spell, raw power and patient wisdom. And slowly you begin to realize something profound. Neither god wins, because this battle doesn't end. It becomes the universe itself, a cosmic duel echoing through every thunderstorm that has ever shaken the earth, every prophecy that has ever been spoken, every war that mortals have ever fought. But what if we're asking the wrong question entirely? What if Zeus and Odin didn't fight, but somehow merged their essences? Not a clash of mythologies, but a convergence of divine philosophies. Imagine the brute force of Olympian power, combined with the ancient, subtle magic of the Norse realms, a pantheon where wisdom wears armor of lightning and war is guided by prophetic thought. Maybe that fusion is how entirely new worlds are born from the ashes of the old ones. So who wins this ultimate battle between Zeus and Odin? Maybe the answer is nobody. Maybe the real question isn't about measuring divine strength, but about choosing which story resonates deeper in your soul. Do you believe in the story written in lightning bolts across storm clouds? Or do you trust the tale whispered in shadows by ravens who have seen the end of all things? Which mythology speaks to the part of you that dreams of wielding cosmic power?
drop your choice in the comments. Are you Team Zeus with his thunderbolts or Team Odin with his ancient magic? And tell me which other gods from different mythologies you want to see clash in future videos. If you love these mind-bending mythological mashups that reimagine ancient stories in ways nobody has ever considered, smash that like button, share this with fellow mythology enthusiasts, and hit subscribe. This channel is where legends get completely reimagined and ancient stories collide in impossible ways. Next time, we're asking an even twisted question. What if Hades ruled Asgard while Hell took over Olympus? Trust me, you won't want to miss that mythological chaos. See you in the next story.